Cool. So today we are going to be doing a yin class, which is a lot slower for those who might be new to yin. It's a lot slower than our flow. Hello. And so what we'll do is we'll move into a pose and we'll hold it for like 4 or 5 minutes. I'll let you know how long we're going to stay in the poses when they are a long hold, but really it gives us the chance to allow our bodies to start to soften, our muscles to release, and we start to get that really nice that nice release through our whole entire body through the movements that we go through today. So just giving you that prep that we will be holding the poses a lot more, and I won't speak as much through the class today, but really I'm just here to hold the space for you. So I'll guide you into each asana pose that we move into. We'll have the playlist as well, and then I will make sure that we've got room for silence. So just sort of bridging that, as I know for myself and for a few people, sitting in your own space has been a lot more challenging at home than if you go to a yoga class. It can be quite hard to resist the urge to like kind of look around the room and look at all the things that need to be done, but if you can give yourself the time to sit with this, then that's the most perfect thing that you can be doing right now. Cool. So yeah, the poses will hold for a few minutes in each, but if you do need to come out of any of them a little bit earlier, please know that you can make your way out and just come into a child's pose, a seat, lying down, and just come back into your breath when you do, until we move to the next one. So we will get started. If you'd like to hit play on that playlist, I'll just share that one more time. Here we go. And so this one is neck and shoulder yin, the playlist. And if you hit play on that one and make your way to your mat, coming into a comfortable seat, we'll begin. And so taking a seat, whether you're cross-legged or on your knees, whatever is comfortable for you. And then placing both hands in your lap, shutting down your eyes, and just taking a wee moment here to arrive. And the focus of today's yin will be to have a release through our neck, through our shoulders, through the front and back of our body, our heart space. And it's through this area that we can hold a lot of tension, a lot of tightness when we start to feel a little stressed. It might be through mental stress, physical stress, even through physical exercise that we're doing. Often sitting at a desk, we start to sort of concave in around our chest, shoulders. And so today we're just going to work to start to open all of that up, find a really nice release for this part of our body. Beginning to slow down your breaths. And bringing awareness to the sounds of your breath, the sensations. What part of your body is filling up with each inhale and emptying on the exhale. Nowadays we have so many tools and activities and even medicine that can help us to calm down when we're feeling stressed or anxious. But the most effective thing that we really can do for ourselves is to become more aware and more engaged with our breath. Holding your awareness on each inhale, each exhale. And if it's comfortable, taking those breaths in and out of your nose, shutting your mouth. Maybe you can start to bring in a little more length. Fill in deeper into your belly. to calm and steady our mind. And if your mind starts to wander throughout our yin class today, knowing that you can keep coming back to your breath as your anchor, helping you come into that place of calm, that steadiness of your mind. Dropping your chin towards your chest, staying in the seated position, and then rolling your right ear around to your right shoulder. So we come into a bit of a neck stretch. And then tilting your head back forward, chin to chest, taking it to the other side, left ear to left shoulder. We'll continue to move through some semicircles with the head, so moving from right to left. And pausing in any places that might feel a little sticky, a little tight. Lingering in those points and just having a play around with subtle movement. Maintaining slow, steady breaths. Where in the movement is there a little more tension? Is the right and left side even, or one a little tighter than the other? Taking your chin back down to your chest and pausing there. Curving through your upper back, so dropping your chin maybe a little lower, starting to create that stretch through the back of your neck, the back of your upper back. And then interlacing both fingers behind the base of your head, drawing both elbows towards one another and giving yourself a gentle pull down on the back of your head to start to open up through the top of your back, the top and base of your neck. Wherever it is sticky, breathe into that space. Allowing your head to rest heavy. And feeling the length in your spine and the space between your shoulder blades. And we're here for 3 more breaths. Each cycle helping you soften, both on a physical and a mental level. Taking both hands down to your knees and then rolling your head back up so that you're facing the screen. And then we'll take your head over to the right ear to right shoulder. Lifting back up through center, taking over to the left. One more time, back up through center, over to the right. And then this time playing around with the angle of your chin. So taking your chin up to the sky a little. I find if I move through a motion of nodding my head, I can find that really juicy point in my stretch on the left side of my neck here. You're welcome to have your eyes closed if it's comfortable and just move with the guiding of my voice. And one more inhale here. And through your nose, exhale. And taking your head back up through center. We'll move over to the left and move through that same adjusting of the angle of your chin. So left ear to left shoulder, and then maybe you move through those wee nods or lifting your chin up towards the sky. Finding that stretch all the way down our right side of our neck. stay here for 3 more rounds of breath. Breathing into the points on your right side, maybe right behind your ear, the base of your neck. Breathing into the points that feel tight, sticky, holding more tension. One more inhale and exhale. Coming back up through center, your head is nice and straight. And then taking both hands up to the sky, breathing in. We'll take a twist around to the right, so your left hand comes to your right knee and your right hand behind your hips. And taking your gaze towards the back of the room, starting to open up through the whole length of our spine. From there, maybe taking a wee tilt of the head from left to right, nice and slowly. And taking your head back up to a straight position, starting to unravel through the twist. Both arms reach up towards the sky, big breath in. Taking that to the other side, we twist to the left. So right hand to left thigh, left knee, left hand behind you, gaze to the back of the room. And notice here how you can maybe find a little more length in your spine, separating the vertebra, and then from that point, taking the twist. And then again, dropping your left ear down, coming back up through center, moving to the right side. And this one here, for me, it feels really nice with my left ear on my left shoulder, and then coming back to the way, shifting around with the angle of my chin. We've got one more breath here. And your next inhale, straighten through the neck, release the twist, come back through center. And then taking your wee underbite, so moving your lower jaw forward. And then from that point, we start to take our head back. So notice how that tightness on the front of your throat, the tightness on the skin starts to be found as you move your lower jaw forward. Maybe taking a wee roll of the head, some wee half circles from side to side as your head is tilted back, just really gently with this one. And staying tuned into your breath. And one more inhale. And exhale, start to take your head back up through center. And we'll take a few full neck rolls. So starting by dropping your right ear to your right shoulder, rolling your chin forward, left ear, left shoulder, taking it back. And then we'll move the other way. Left ear to left shoulder, dropping your head forward, round to the right. And coming back up to a straight neck, so nice. From here, we'll start to make our way over into our tabletop. So coming over on your knees. Your hands stacked underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath the hips. You're squeezing your belly to your spine to give you a little bit of support as we move into our thread the needle. Taking your right hand up to the sky, start to open through the chest. And then threading your right arm underneath your left. Your right shoulder comes down to the mat, right ear is facing the earth. And we're coming into a shoulder stretch where we're really feeling that spread of our shoulder blades across the back of our body. We're here for a minute or so, so finding that place of stretch through the back of your body. Hello, I'll share the playlist with you quickly. There we go. No, not at all. Perfect. Your awareness as you're in your thread the needle, so coming from tabletop, threading right arm underneath, just for those that are making their way there. Your awareness here on calming down the rhythm of your breath and allowing yourself to melt into this position. If you'd like to, you can take your left arm forward. Your left arm straightens, coming in line with the top of your mat. Maybe if you'd like to add on even more, you start to extend through your left leg. So your left toes towards the back of the mat. And then once you arrive, shutting down your eyes, using your breath to soften, allowing your muscles to melt. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths. One more inhale. Notice the sensation of your breath moving over your top lip as you exhale. And then bending through your left knee, placing both knees back flat on the mat, your left palm beside your face, pressing through your palm to unpeel yourself. Your right arm peels open to the sky. And then both hands come down to the mat, coming into a child's pose for a moment. We rebound. Your knees can be together or apart here. And your forehead comes to rest on the mat. Option for your arms to be in front of you, or if your knees are together, maybe bringing your arms down by the sides of your shins. And each time that we rebound from one of our yin poses, it's a moment for us to let the pose digest and for our body to neutralize before moving on to the other side. Your awareness being on the sensations of what we've just moved through, so maybe the sensations that you've got on your upper back, across your shoulder blades. A moment to rebalance our breath. Even inhales, even exhales. You might move with a count of 3 or 4 for your inhales and exhales. When you're ready, making your way back into your tabletop, so taking both hands underneath your shoulders again, pressing back up to tabletop. Finding that we squeezing of belly to spine, your intra-abdominal pressure, and then pressing through your right hand, your left hand peels open to the sky, first of all opening through the chest, and then we come into our thread the needle on the other side. So left arm moves underneath right as you bend through your right elbow, placing your left ear down to the mat. And that spreading of your shoulder blades on the other side. And finding a release through our left shoulder. And feel free in these poses as well to have a wee play around with how to find the sensation that's right for you. And so in this one here, we're opening and stretching through the back line of our body. If you'd like to add on, taking your right arm towards the top of your mat, extending through your right arm, and then maybe you also extend your right leg, so your right toes coming to the back of your mat. And finding a new expression. Maybe noticing how you can create a little space between your thoughts when you have the space between your breaths. We're here for 3 more. Taking 1 more inhale. And through the nose you exhale. And then bending your right knee if it was extended, placing that beside your left knee. And taking your right palm beside your face, pressing through your palm to peel yourself back open. Left arm to the sky, opening through the chest. Both hands come down to the mat. And this time we'll come to a seat. So just rebounding by placing your hips on your heels, shutting down your eyes and moving through 10 breaths here. Allowing our body to reset. Are the sensations in your body as you come into this neutral position the same as what you felt when you rebounded from the first side? Or they may be a little different. Each breath cleansing like a wave, moving over your body, removing tension, softening through your muscles. We're here for another 3 rounds of rolling breath. And at the top of each inhale, as you have that pause before you move into your exhale, can you almost float your breath so that it becomes this cyclical movement rather than a sharp pause at the top of your inhale, at the bottom of your exhale? It almost floats from one into the other. And 1 more breath in. And rolling through your exhale. And then fluttering open your eyes if they were shut. Making your way forward, we're going to lower down onto our bellies. And then coming into a Sphinx Pose. So coming onto your forearms. Your legs are long behind you, and in our Sphinx Pose, our elbows are directly underneath our shoulders. And then you might notice how they're, occasionally in this one, you can feel it quite pinchy in your low back. And so really to avoid that one, it's that prioritizing the opening through your upper back rather than your lower. So a bit of a lift of your chest here to give you some more length between the vertebra in your low back, pressing down through forearms to give you that lift. And you might like to shut down your eyes, tuning back into your breath. And breathing through the front of your body this time, so through your chest, through your heart space. And feeling your breath move through you. And starting to shift and adjust the tension that might be sitting there. Our chest, our heart space beginning to open. And glutes are nice and soft, so taking a conscious awareness of releasing any tension that you might have there. And if you would like to, you can take your chin towards your chest, Otherwise, the alternative option is taking your head backwards, so lifting your chin to the sky, maybe having a play around between the two.
And for me, I really like that dropping of chin to chest and start to find a release again through the top of my neck. Whichever way you take your head, keeping that pressing down through your forearms, that pulling forward of your heart space and rolling back of your shoulders. And we're here for 5 more breaths. And breath by breath tension and stress starting to melt away. And our neck and our shoulders, and the heart space beginning to soften, to open up again. And taking one more breath in, through the nose out.
If your head is dropped forward or tilted up and back, coming back to a straight position, neck is nice and long. And then we'll lower ourselves all the way down to the ground, taking your elbows out wide and both palms resting one on top of the other, creating a wee pillow for your forehead as we allow the back of our body to come back into a neutral position. Again, bringing your awareness to the sensations in your body as we come out of a deep stretch. Is there blood moving back into parts of your body that were maybe restricted for a moment? And what are the sensations in the front of your body, and through your chest, your pecs? Any tingling or feelings of release? On your next inhale, filling your belly, filling your ribs, and your chest, and slow exhale. And one more just like that, 3-part breath. We inhale to belly, inhale to ribs, and the last part we inhale through our chest, our heart space. And through the nose, slow exhale. Taking both your arms to a cactus position, so your elbows are in line with your shoulders here. And then we'll take first of all our right ear down to the mat, so we're looking towards the left. And then placing your left palm beside your ribs or just underneath your shoulder. And from there, take a wee check in actually before we move anywhere that your right elbow is at shoulder height. So we just want to make sure that that one's not lower or higher. And then from there we will start to take our left hip on top of our right. And maybe you stay here, maybe you bend both knees. Or third option is to just take your left toes behind you so that your left toes are placed on the ground just behind your hips. And we're opening up through the right front of our chest, our right pec, our right shoulder. if you would like to, you can move your right hand a little further upwards, so up towards the top of your mat, but just not any further down. And then using your left palm on the mat here as your lever of how deep you take this one. So the more that you press down through your palm, your left palm, the more you can start to open your left shoulder towards the sky and finding that deeper sensation in your right shoulder, the right front of your body. Using your breath to soften, to relax into this one. Moving all the muscles in the opposite way to how they usually are when we're seated, sitting at our computer or a desk. When we stay in these poses for a little longer than what we would in other styles of yoga, we give our muscles a chance to really begin to soften, and we go even deeper into that next layer of tissue, starting to find that release. And we'll take another breath in. On the exhale, starting to come out of this one, so rolling your left hip back down towards the mat, taking your left ear to the mat, so taking your gaze the other way over to the right, and then both arms come lying beside your body, palms to face the sky. We're here for a minute, allowing our body to come back to that neutral position. In any space that we have in this class, any silence, using that as an opportunity to hold your awareness on your breath, or maybe your awareness on the sensations moving through your body. If possible, staying present in what you're moving through, what you're experiencing right here. One more breath in. We exhale. Taking both arms into a cactus position. This time taking that we check in with your left elbow being in line with your left shoulder. And then left ear to the mat, gazing to the right. Taking your right palm underneath your right shoulder, right beside your top ribs. And then pressing through your right palm to start to take your right hip stacked on top of your left. And either staying here with both legs straight, maybe coming into a wee bend with the knees, or again that option of lifting your top leg, your right leg, and placing your toes behind your hips. We're here for a few minutes, so maybe starting in a place, a level that's not too intense, and knowing that as we
Stay in this pose for a little longer, things will start to soften. The left front of your chest will start to open, to release. And maybe from there you add on a little bit of that intensity through the pressing through your right palm. Noticing all the sensations on the left side of your body, around your shoulder, the front of your chest, even the back of your body, your shoulder blade, left shoulder blade. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Final inhale. As you exhale, starting to come out of this one, rolling back flat onto your tummy, your belly, and then taking your right ear to the mat, taking your gaze over to the left and both arms by your side, coming back into that rebound, palms to face the sky, and shutting down your eyes if they're not already. And as you breathe, coming back to those waves, cleansing waves moving through your whole body, releasing tension and allowing your bones to become heavy on your mat. Softening through your glutes, and allowing your shoulders to drop. Even releasing the tension through your face. And we're here for another 5 breaths. And you made it this far by taking the time out of your day to arrive on your mat, to come onto the Zoom on this beautiful sunny hot day. So really give yourself this time, allow yourself to be present and here. And giving this time to you. And final inhale. Maybe parting the lips and sighing that one out. And placing both hands underneath your shoulders, pressing up to a tabletop position, using your knees, and then taking your hips towards your heels, coming to a seat. We're going to move through a puppy pose, or a few variations of. If you have any books or blocks, you're welcome to use those in this one, but it's completely optional. First variation for this one, we'll start to make our way forward, so we're almost coming into that same child's pose position that we or no. And then bending through your elbows. So your elbows are going to rest on your mat, or this is where you can place the blocks underneath your elbows too. And then your palms come to touch almost above your head. I find if I take my knees a little wider but keeping my big toes to touch, I can create a bit more space for my chest to start to move down towards the mat. And it's through this opening of our shoulders that we can really start to open through our heart space. And giving a really nice stretch to the front and the back of our body. And as you're breathing here, beginning to allow gravity to do its job. Gravity starting to press your torso, press your chest down towards the earth. Gravity keeping your hips nice and heavy, resting on top of your heels. And if this one is feeling quite intense through the front of your body, you have the option to extend through your arms and take them long in front of you. Either forehead or chin resting on the mat. And again, shutting down your eyes. Allowing your body to start to soften, to surrender to the pose. Checking in with your breath and how the texture, the rhythm may have changed slightly compared to the start of our yin class today. Maybe a little softer. Maybe the opposite as we start to release some of the tension through our chest, our neck, our shoulders. That's okay too. And we've got another 4 breaths here. Melting your heart space towards the earth, the ground. Almost as if there's a gentle palm pressing in between your shoulder blades, gently guiding your heart down towards the mat. And we'll take one final breath in. And start to straighten through the arms if they're not already on the out. And then walking yourself up to a seat. One handprint at a time, starting to straighten through your spine. And we'll pause in our seat. We're here for about a minute, just allowing everything to come back to center, to neutralize. Sit with the sensations, the space that you've created in the front of your body.
The side of your heart, the back of your heart space. Your rib cage expanding from all areas, expanding into all directions. Gentle lifts and lowers of your inhales and exhales. The warmth of your breath as you breathe out, the coolness on the inhale, and coming back to that floating, that cyclical breath with a float at the top of your inhale, at the bottom of your exhale. Final breath in and out. And fluttering open your eyes and taking your hips off your heels, swinging your legs around in front of you. We're going to come down onto our back here. So bending through the knees, taking a hold of the backs of your thighs and starting to unravel yourself all the way down onto your mat. Once you arrive, taking a cactus with your arms. So coming back into that position, but this time we're flipped around on our back. So your elbows are in line with your shoulders. And then we'll move into Supta Baddha Konasana, so butterfly with the feet, taking the knees out wide and your soles of your feet to touch. Once you arrive, shutting down your eyes. And our final pose before we move into our Shavasana. And as you breathe, taking a scan through your body, noticing the differences in tension from the start of class. The openness through the front of your body, your chest, your pecs. Your shoulders feeling a little more relaxed. And we're here for about 5 or 6 rounds of breath. Can you stay with the moment inside each breath, the present moment? Observing the rise and fall of the front of your body. Breathing through every part. Breathing through your arms, your legs, all the way down to the soles of your feet. All the way to the tips of your fingers. When you feel ready, beginning to make your way out of this pose by taking your knees together, soles of your feet back on the mat. And taking both arms down by your sides. And give yourself some space here, really take up some room so your arms might come a little wider off your mat and your legs out long. Maybe your heels at each corner of your mat as you arrive in your Shavasana, coming to a place of stillness. Taking a moment here to scan through your body and really consciously release any tension, any tightness of your muscles as you scan through each body part, starting at the soles of your feet. A breath to soften, moving up through your calves, your knees. Can you even release a little tension in the front of your quads, your thighs? Maybe your legs roll outwards, your toes pointing outwards. And finding a heaviness of the hips as they are held by the earth beneath them, softening through your glutes. Melting through your belly. Taking your awareness up your torso, softening through the front of your chest, your shoulders heavy on the mat, the backs of your arms, your elbows, your palms. Really allow them to be heavy to be held. Taking your awareness up through your neck, to your face, your head. A breath here to soften all the muscles on your face, even the skin at the crown of your head. And we arrive in our Shavasana. starting to take a little more length back into your breath. Dropping your head from side to side, massaging out the back of your head, your skull. And when you're ready, rolling over to one side and gently guiding yourself up to a seat. And once you arrive, placing your right palm over your heart space, your left palm on top. And together we'll take a collective breath in. Through the nose we breathe out. And final breath in. A gentle bow of your head, your chin to your chest as you exhale. A moment to give gratitude to yourself for arriving here, taking the time to do less, to create more space. Namaste.